Hello and welcome to the Rattata Rundown, the one and only Pokemon podcast that there is anywhere, anytime, in space and time, in Dialga, in Palkia. You're pointing at an Eevee sticker that you have on your hat.
Oh yeah,
what
I
you got
forgot
going on there?
It's a pin. I've got a pin, and then I've got the Rattata Pokemon hat that I've have.
That you're wearing.
I'm wearing.
Either way, that voice that you just heard, that is Stacey Pantsis, and the voice that you are currently hearing is
Asher Griffith Jones, I think.
Oh my goodness, that is my name.
Oh
that
my
is
God.
correct.
Got it right. First try.
Yeah, you did. You did first try. I'm very proud of you. This is a Pokemon podcast, Stacey.
I know.
What do we do on this Pokemon podcast?
We play Pokemon every game, every gym, and every gym that we finish, we stop, we come, we talk, gym by gym, badge to badge.
Badge to badge.
And we talk about our journey, the leg, our team, weird things, conspiracies, theories, you name it, we got it. What's happening?
If you're just joining us, today, Gym Rats, we're actually playing Pokemon Silver and Gold, or Gold and Silver, as it's commonly said. And we are up to Gym 2, which was the Bugsy. What was the name of the badge? It was something.
The Hive badge.
Hive badge. I remember reading that. I was like,
Hive
that is actually a pretty cool name. I was a fan of that. Wasn't a fan of Zephyr badge because I don't know what that word means,
Zephyr
and it made me feel dumb.
Weird.
Oh, you don't know either?
No.
Maybe it's a bird thing. Probably means nepotism or something. It's probably another word for
something
Chalamet.
is related, employment under your employment,
your parents.
Father, hoot. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, short leg. Do you reckon short leg? Short-ish.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah.
Actually, I actually streamed for the second
like the legs
time.
on Gimli. Oh,
I streamed for the second
the
time.
person that streams most of these podcast episodes.
Not most. So totally.
As you said, episode 4 of season 1, you mentioned
that was the first time I streamed it, and I streamed once per season. That's most of the time, isn't it? Anyway, youtube.com/white latte. That's where I streamed half of this leg, and then I just played the rest by myself. I did the recorded part of my leg. I made it up to what's it called? Azalea City.
Azalea.
Azalea. It's like two buildings. How does that constitute as a city? In my opinion?
What are you talking about? There's way more than 2 buildings. You got Kurt's house. You got the Charcoal Man's house.
A suburb.
You got Mart.
Mate,
You've got a Pokemon Center. I'm sorry, if it's got a hospital and a shopping center, it's a city.
It's not a city. What, one shopping center that's 1 by 1 meter? That's 1 by 1 meter, Asher. Let that sink in. The building itself is not that big. The Pokemon Center itself is not that big. There's 3 other buildings. One's a whole ass gym, so it's designed for specific people to enter, not for just anybody.
Maybe it's a town.
It's a suburb. If that, it's like Millicent. It's actually,
oh my God, just bringing the hate to South Australians. Oh my God, deserved though. Fuck them. As Victorians, we're allowed to say that. You aren't. Even if you're from South Australia, you can't do that.
No,
you have to have superiority, which Victorians do.
Or you need to be a member of the Rattata Rundown, which is only 2 people in this universe.
Yeah.
Which is us. We're pretty privileged humans right now, aren't we?
So I understand when you beat Faulkner last episode, you actually cheated a little bit, and you went and left the gym and collected an egg. I just want to let you know that I've caught up. I've caught up to you.
You caught up. Oh,
I did that during this lake, and I just want to talk about it because you had a chance to talk about it during the first episode when we shouldn't have done it. I couldn't talk about it. I couldn't talk about it.
Take the stage.
So now I'm going to talk about it, and I have to take the stage. This is my moment. So I left the gym. Professor Elm calls me. He goes, buddy, there's a friend in the Pokemon Center. And I go, great. So I go to the Pokemon Center, and the guy's like, do you want an egg? Professor Elm wants you to have an egg? And I said no. End of story.
End of story.
End of story. Did you take the egg?
I have it. It's with me right now. It's in my pocket.
Oh.
Got a fire type.
Are you going to be using it to as part of your team?
Depends. I don't even know if Togekiss is in this game. I mean, what's the egg? I don't know, Asher. I don't even know what's in the egg. Oh. Side eye. Bombastic side eye. That's a TikTok reference, I think. I don't know.
Is it?
It's meant to imply that I pretending am not to know what's in the egg, even though I do know. I could do it.
It's actually, I would have been able to get that, especially from your tone of voice. You played that very straight. Thanks for explaining that to me.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your compliments. I love getting complimented. So anytime throughout that you want to compliment me on my team or on my experiences, just do let me know prior, and I'll get back to you. Short leg though, I am gonna carry the egg with me, the egg on my leg. Do you like that? Do you want to leave a compliment for that?
Yeah, that was a really good phrase. I think we'll put that on our TikTok channel so people can give that the bombastic eye. That's a thing from TikTok I just
bombastic
learned.
Side eye, Asher. You sound like
Bombastic.
you're 43 years old.
That's right. 43-year-olds are very good at forgetting middle words.
Actually, my dad's 63 or something, and he's like, "Oh, I love this TikTok. It's so great. This TikTok, oh, it's so good. Oh, look at this video I've seen before." Wow. Anyway, getting way off track here. Oh,
no, that's fine. I mean, maybe your father's just trying to connect with you, and he's like, "Oh, I know my son uses TikTok," and then here you are belittling him on a platform.
The other day,
he's just trying to connect with his son.
He walks into like
putting in effort.
He walks into the study and he goes, "Oh, I can't remember. I made a thumbnail or something." He's like, "Did they dethrone you, King Stasi?" Because like I made a thumbnail with a crown on my head. I'm thinking, oh my god, like he's.
Was this for your Pokemon stream?
It was one of my streams. I think it was the one where you weren't allowed in, where I was playing leg 2 for episode 2 for season 2, which is what we're recording right now. And I think he's complimented or commented more so on the fact that I'm a king, and so who am I to say no? Yeah. Pretty good. Asher, are you carrying the egg? I'm guessing you're not carrying the egg. Do you know what's in the egg?
I know what's in the egg.
Yeah, so
I'm not gonna give it a bombastic side eye.
Thank
Look,
goodness.
I can pick up on trends very easily.
So relieved.
So let's think. What did I do with the egg? Oh yeah, I said no.
Yeah.
And then I left Violet. I left Violet City. And I went down south, and there was this man. He was like, "Hey, mate, Professor Elm, buddy, is in the Pokemon Center. He's got an egg for you. Do you want to go up there?" And you can't. You have to accept the egg. You can't leave without it. So I took the egg. I put it in the PC. I tried to release it, and apparently, no releasing eggs. You're not allowed to even bloody release the egg.
Really?
No, you can't release fucking eggs. You can release anything else. I released Cyndaquil while I was there because I forgot to do that previous episode. But eggs you can't release. So that was.
So what is it? Just
annoying.
sitting.
It's just sitting in the PC.
That's a lonely life.
That's all right. Well, I won't hatch it. Hopefully, it's not important to the story. Like I know Togepi comes out, but I'm not sure if it's like.
I think it's just
important to the story.
From memory, I think it's just one phone call to Elm to be like, "Oh my god, it was Togepi," even though like you don't talk. He just psychic power. He just summons his knowledge and ability to predict and overcome. I think he's a pretty powerful bloke.
All these characters seem to hear what we're saying or what we're thinking.
Well, I can understand.
We must have very.
I can understand why Professor Oak doesn't want to hang around Elm because he's got this aura, this presence, this this power over him. He can crack Professor Oak if he wants to, but Professor Oak's staying away from him. He wants to be the number one professor. It's a hierarchy.
It's a whole thing. Elm wants to be the number one professor.
Elm knows.
You reckon he can crack him like an egg? Is that were you making a pun about that?
He can get a Togepi out of him if he wants to. You know what I mean?
He can make a Togepi out of anyone. It's like Alien. Do you know how like the little aliens pop out of your chest?
Yeah, like that.
When Professor Elm poops in your mouth, little Togepis come out of your chest. Don't fall asleep in front of Professor Elm because he'll sit on your face and he'll poop in your mouth, and then Togepi will come out of your chest.
Just a little disclaimer: please do not allow yourself to get pooped in the mouth. You can experience more than just being disgusted. I think there's health concerns if you.
Well, yeah, the Togepi that comes out of your mouth, but like Professor Elm needs to be
also just
around.
Pooped in your mouth. I wouldn't want to get pooped in.
Why wouldn't you want to get pooped in your mouth?
I think it's
weird. That's a weird thing to say.
I think it's kind of obvious. Yeah, I think it's.
Is it? Because I'd like you to elaborate. Sorry, can we just sidebar here? New segment. Why does Stacey have weird opinions on things?
We've already gone off topic like 10 times.
Stacey's weird opinion.
Wow.
So, what's your weird opinion today, Stacey?
Don't get pooped in. I think that's
Your mouth. You're specific about your mouth.
But I'd like to think it's more than an opinion. I think I'd like to think of it as more of as like a disclaimer or as like a warning. Like, don't get pooped in. Not that I've experienced it, but I just
you think you're just gonna
I just think
cringe
it would be
it before
great
you
to avoid getting pooped in. Personally, especially by Professor Elm. As much
so
as,
anybody else would be fine.
well. Look at you asking the questions. I just think don't get pooped in general, to be honest. But if I were to choose someone to poop in me, it wouldn't be Professor Elm.
Who would it be?
Oh, Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
Nicolas Cage. You know those middle-aged men? They could do
So
it.
any middle-aged man.
No. Tom Hanks or Nicolas Cage or even who's the other guy? Jim Carrey, maybe. You?
So
You get mistaken.
these are all middle-aged men. Though,
Aren't you a
right?
middle-aged man?
Middle-aged what? Well, apparently, because I don't say bombastic side eye.
Yep.
Yeah, the moment you forget side, that's it. You're a
44.
middle-aged man.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you can poop in my mouth.
I just want to say, Professor Elm, I'm pretty sure is a middle-aged man. So, like,
I
yet
don't
again,
think
I'm going to
so.
come back to that.
I don't think so.
What? Oh, how old do you reckon he is?
I reckon he's 60. 60.
Oh.
Yeah. We got to think about when the game was first made as well. The game was released, before 2000?
But we're talking current, so playing in the game at the moment, not in 2024,
Well, yeah,
but like at the time it was made.
For the look in the 90s, like you actually look a lot older than you are. And I feel like if you're going bald nowadays, you have to be in your late 60s, the very least. If you're still in your early 60s.
Oh, that is a very that's a big statement to make. That's a big statement to make.
But I've made it.
I mean, maybe it's just because you're Greek and like you have hair everywhere, so it's very.
Yeah.
Other people can go bald much earlier.
That's true. I actually have a godbrother who's early 30s and he's bald.
Yeah, and that's
it's
if you
completely
can pull
fine.
it off. People can pull it off.
Yep.
Get a beard, or even without a beard.
It is what it is.
It's all to do with confidence and the way you dress and fucking own it. Own that shit.
Own it.
Being bald isn't the end.
Yeah.
It just means you can't poo in Stacey's mouth anymore. I think we should move on from this hit segment.
Yep.
Stacey's weird opinions.
Let's talk about the leg a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's move.
Our actual journey.
Move on.
So you got the hive badge, which is great. We'll get to that at the end, I think, because it was a bit of a.
You don't want to talk about the hive badge now?
Well, I can summarize my battle in like a minute. Or actually, I can summarize it in 10 seconds.
Oh yeah.
Ember.
Yeah, no, that would have helped.
That's my battle.
Yeah. Fair.
Did you come across that girl on route? I think it was Route 33, I believe. I think that's what.
Route 33. I'm gonna make a. Wait, let's have a look here. Let's have a look. Route 33.
The one after Violet City.
I think I came across a couple of girls.
The one more specifically, the one in the corner.
Oh no, yeah. I felt really bad. So like,
Why?
I know in Kanto and Red and Blue, you make eye contact with someone, you have to battle. Yeah. It seems like these laws are the same here in Johto. Like this person's having a phone conversation, and she's like, "Oh fuck, I made eye contact with this man. I'll give this person a call back." And then she has to fight. Like, imagine fucking doing that. And also, like, what is the? I have questions about like the legalities of the way this works. So is this everyone that the moment you make eye contact with someone, regardless of who they are, you have to fight them? Or is it only people that are taking part in the gym challenge or like the Pokemon League?
Well, Asher, actually, yeah, let's address this first. I think, yeah, because like you've got Hiker Anthony, who does not look like.
Oh my god,
interested
Anthony!
Mate, I got his number. Mate, I got his number. I got the Riz. Anyway, like you take someone like Hiker Anthony and you think, are you interested in taking on the gym, or are you just an exploration kind of man? Do you like scaling the mountains and being near the mountains and living life large? You know what I mean? He does not strike me as I'm going to take on the gyms kind of person. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, he wanted to battle. I also think, and here's my point, I think you know how they make eye contact with you and they come up to you. I think it applies for you to them. I think if you make eye contact,
vice versa.
If I made eye contact with this girl in the corner and I've chosen to battle her, you've legally got to drop what you're doing, and you've got to battle me. It's a two-way street. So I think.
But the reason why I asked that is because there's some NPCs that you make eye contact with and there's no battle. even if you haven't battled them yet.
Do you think they possess Pokemon, though?
I reckon everyone must have Pokemon in this universe because, as Professor Oak says, it's dangerous to go into the grass without a Pokemon. I think everyone needs them full protection. So I reckon they have to be part of the league. And yeah, maybe someone like Hiker Anthony doesn't look like they'd be taking the gym challenge, but I think people come in different shapes and sizes, and I think we shouldn't be judging someone by their looks. I think that's a little bit silly.
I think if they want to battle you, they'll battle you. And I think if you make eye contact with someone, you've got to hope and pray that maybe they don't want to battle you. And I think that might just be how the system works. I don't think there's any more legalities or technicalities behind it. But what I do know is I chose to fight Liz. And
is that her name, Liz?
Yeah, her name was Liz. Yeah. And I got her number, so I had the Riz.
Yep. Nice little... I did not get her number. I only have one person's number so far. Well, no, 3. I've got Mum, Professor Elm, and Joey.
Well,
I do not have the Riz, apparently.
No, and today I'm gonna introduce to you a new segment that I'm hopefully gonna carry on with the rest of the series.
All our segments are so consistent, and they always run from episode to episode.
No, this will be our first consistent one. This will be numbers of people's numbers that I got this leg.
Okay.
So we have...
Rattle them off.
Anthony. He's one of the fishermen. He's like, I love me a fish, so calm and relaxing. Look, if I ever catch something, I'm going to let you know. And
all right.
Would you like my number? And naturally, I stood there in silence. And you know what people are like in Johto? If you stand there in silence, it usually means yes. So he obliged and he gave me the number. I spoke to Liz afterwards. I'm thinking, Liz, you know what? You're quite the charmer. You're dropping what you're doing just to battle me. I'm quite flattered. Are you interested in perchance in obtaining your number? Yep. I'll give you my number. Beautiful. And then, of course, no, not Hiker, not Anthony. His name was Ralph the Fisherman. Sorry.
Oh, Ralph. Yeah, I was wondering. There was like, two Anthonys very close to each other.
I know. Yeah. No, Hiker Anthony was after. I think. What was it?
After Union Cave.
Union
Cave.
No. He was the one before Azalea Town and battled him, and he's like, look, love me some mountains, love me some Geodudes.
So you got his number as well.
Yeah. So they're the 3 numbers I got this time around. I'm pretty content with it.
I did not get any numbers. I think I'm playing realism here. I'm channeling the Riz that I have in real life into this game. I feel like that's appropriate. I think if I get numbers in real life, I will get numbers in Johto. So I need to up my Riz game IRL so I can get Riz game in gold and silver. Absolutely. That's how it works.
No, absolutely. I agree. I personally think... I like to think that the way I'm going about it is I'm getting numbers in there in the game, and that's what I want to be like in real life. I want to be able to get people's numbers, and
you just need to fight them in Pokemon battles. I mean, like that's what you're missing in real life. That's what I'm missing. I'm not fighting enough people in Pokemon battles.
Yep. No, absolutely. So, I
did want to talk about that fisherman next to what was his name? Craig? Fisherman Humphrey? What did you say his name was? Fisherman Ralph. All right. Ralph. Well, Justin was next to Ralph on that little stretch of bridges. Did you fought Justin, right?
I think so. I don't remember all of them.
It was weird. It gave me concern. I was like, hey Justin, do you mind if we have a chat? And he was like, yeah, we can chat, but like we've made eye contact. We need a fight. And I'm like, okay, sorry, Justin. Well, we can have a chat while we're fighting. He's like, yeah, sure. So he sends out his Magikarp, level 5.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm really not interested in chatting with someone that has level 5 Magikarps. He's got 4 Pokemon. I'm like, yeah, fuck it, whatever. I whip out Reddit, and I'm just tapping A away. Tapping A. Because it's just going to be tackle, splash, tackle, splash, whatever. I'm reading through some threads on Reddit. I think it was something about, I don't know, some person worried about how bisexual he is or something like that. I don't know. Reddit's an interesting place. Anyway, I look back to the game. I see my Rattata's actually fainted. Jerry's dead. And I go, whoa, what the fuck's going on here? This guy's just had like level 5 Magikarps. I have a look. He's got a fucking level 15 Magikarp. Level 15! Level cap, from my understanding for this episode, was level 13. So he's got 2 levels above that, which was very unexpected. There were some really high-level trainers here, considering the level cap for this episode was level 13. So it was... Yeah, it caught me by surprise, and it informed me later on in the game that I may have had wrong information about certain things. But I didn't get that hint.
Such as the level cap actually...
The level cap was not being 13, but I found
16,
that out much later.
Yes.
I found that out in the gym battle when I was like, oh.
Okay. So you were under this wrong precedent of information the entire time. I was actually battling the level cap in my own way. I was worried about... With Ember, but I was worried about being not over-leveled. I was so close to being over-leveled.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But you've got so many more Pokemon. Don't you have like 4, right?
I know.
I've got 3, and I barely got past the level cap that I thought.
Well, in anticipation, I did a bit of grinding.
Okay, all right,
Union Cave. And so now I'm fine, but I'm battling. I was battling to be like, shit, who do I use so I don't go over the level cap? Because I still have my 4 Mons. There's no new additions to my team.
What were your team, like, what level is your team
now?
At the end of Bugsy's gym, what was your team looking like?
Bugsy's gym, I had Tony the Quilava, who, because I had beaten the Scyther, he got up to level 17.
I think it's allowed to go over the level cap at the end of the battle.
At the end of the leg. So now
that's
level
fine.
17.
That's fine.
He is a Quilava, so now he's finished evolving.
Yeah, he's not allowed to get to the final form. That's it. That's it.
We have Crispin the Geodude at level 16.
For those playing along, I know that I don't know who plays Crispin, but Crispin's mum is played by Lisa Edelstein, and she's the head doctor from House.
Absolutely. We love that.
Go on.
Crispin the Geodude level 16.
So those playing along, Crispin's mum is played by Lisa Edelstein. She's the head doctor from House.
The head doctor from House. Wait, who is? Wait, who is?
Crispin's mum.
Crispin's mum. For those playing at home. Lisa Edelstein. Yep.
Edelstein,
Arthur the Ghastly at level 15. Arthur, I know now. I know where that name comes from. He's one of the boys in Daddy Daycare. Who does
that's the whole... Oh, yeah, go on. Yeah, he does not...
He does not speak a lick of English. What happens about halfway through the movie when this guy Marvin, he creates a lot of events. When Marvin comes in, Marvin
Gaye.
Marvin, I don't know. Marvin understands Arthur. He goes, are you speaking Klingon? So Arthur speaks Klingon the whole entire movie.
That's funny. That's
so funny. He's speaking Klingon instead. What's funny, so that was funny. So Arthur the Ghastly, and then I have Becca the Bellsprout at level 15. Becca, she's cool. Like I'll be able to rely on her when I need to. I haven't yet, which is actually great. But I know that Becca the Bellsprout will come in handy. She has sleep powder. She'll probably be like Pookie Bear 2.0, but I'll probably...
I hate that name so much, but Becca's fine. I feel like Becca's much better than Pookie Bear, so Becca away. Becca away.
Becca away, for sure, in my humble opinion. That's my team. Do you want to give us an update on your team, potentially, maybe? Do you want to...
Yeah, so going into the battle, level cap obviously being level 13,
yep.
My Pokemon at the end of it were 13 for Jerry, level 13 for Remy, and then Mickey got to level 15 throughout the gym leader fight. So we're a little bit underleveled. We didn't do any grinding because I was worried about overleveling as well, but just for different reasons. It turns out I wasn't overleveling at all. I had plenty of time to train, and I did not.
No, we love it. We love that.
Did you, on the way to Union Cave? I know we've got like that route with the fisherman and the lady Riz, Liz Rizzer. There was this weird man who was asking about selling some Slowpoke tails, and I've got a couple of issues with this man. Did you come along this man? Come across this man?
I had no choice but to come across this man right before.
Oh, he pestered you as well.
Yeah.
What do you think of this guy? What do you think of his what he had to say?
I like his antics. I like he's attempting at making a living off selling Slowpoke tails. Clearly, there was a crisis on the other side of the cave involving Slowpoke tails. Maybe this guy had been collecting these cut-off Slowpoke tails and potentially trying to sell them for an overmarked price. I think he had the idea on paper, but I don't know if it's paying off for him. That's my thoughts on him. What are your issues with him? Like, I'd like to know.
Okay, so I've got two issues with what he's doing. So, clearly, Slowpoke tails. This is dodgy shit. This is illegal. We find this out later in Alzea town, and this guy is clearly he's trying to get a customer base, and that's fine. But in broad daylight, pestering every single person that walks past him, going, "Hey, mate, do you want to buy Slowpoke tail?" Mate, you're gonna get caught. Please, like this, people will report what's going on. People will be like, "There's some weird stuff going on near Union Cave." This isn't Kanto. They're not corrupt here in Johto. This is a proper police state. It's run proper by these people, and I have no reason to. I have no evidence for that, but I've got assumptions. I'm making assumptions here.
Yeah.
Second thing that I do want to bring up is, if you're just offering this to anyone that walks past you, it kind of loses its value, in my opinion. Like, being a Slowpoke tail, it should be like something rare or exclusive, not available to every person, right?
Yeah, of course.
But if it's being offered to fucking anybody, 12-year-old kids walking past, no one's going to be, it no longer feels a special thing. And also, like, the markups for it are just ridiculous. People should be aware that it's not worth that much. $1 million for a Slowpoke tail. Now let's break down this price a bit. So to get a Slowpoke tail, obviously you need to catch a Slowpoke. To catch a Slowpoke, Pokeball. Their catch rate isn't that difficult. It's pretty regular. It's a pretty regular catch rate.
Absolutely.
Let's say, for argument's sake, let's say you use 5 Pokeballs. You're having a tough time. You're having a reasonably tough time, and you have to use 5 Pokeballs to catch a Slowpoke. Not just one, which you probably could. The markup, because the cost of business for doing this is only $200 Pokedollars. For one Pokeball, that's a $500,000 markup to $1 million. What are their fucking overheads? If it's 1,000. Then the markup for that is just like 100,000. Like, it's just, I don't understand the business here. People will not be buying that. People can go out and get their own Slowpoke tails easily. The business model does not make sense.
I didn't even know there was a model in the first place. I just thought he was just trying.
Oh, you just think the cost of business plus what he's offering the rate for, it just doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. People have access to Slowpokes. I came across someone in the gym, not in the gym, in Union Cave who had a Slowpoke. He could cut off their own tail, and doesn't have to spend fucking $1 million.
Yeah, why would you want Slowpoke tails for? I mean, it's so unethical. It's like, I don't know, it's like vegan rights activists not protesting. You know what I mean?
If you're into that shit, maybe you'd want to cut off the tail yourself. Maybe they're taking the fun out of it. Maybe. You're like, oh, here's a Slowpoke tail already cut. You're like, no, mate, like I'm into some pretty cooked shit. I want to get a Slowpoke, and I want to cut it off myself.
Yeah. But I'm just thinking, what kind of, I don't know, it's not for me. I wouldn't want to do that. And, you know, right next to a town, where quite frankly, you know, in Slowpoke yawn, it causes rain?
I did not know that.
Oh, there you go. So, like, that's, like, Slowpoke are very significant, and I've noticed that going from town to town, they all have their hallmark Pokemon, or they've got their token Pokemon, right? You've got Violet City, who
Bellsprout
Tower, and then you've got Slowpoke Well. What's next? You know what I mean? And what kind
I did not pick up on that. That's going to be cool to look at what the rest of the towns have. Yeah,
I think Goldenrod. I think that might be themed around Whitney and her Miltank. Maybe. I mean, it's right next to a nursery. So a Miltank's. They produce.
I can't remember.
Anyway,
I know that there's a mill tank, but yeah.
yeah, no, but I think with this Slowpoke situation, I just think he's not the brightest. He's not the pinkest Slowpoke tail on a Slowpoke. Do you know what I mean?
No, because Slowpokes only have one tail. So, like, what pink in comparison to the other tails of a
Slowpoke? On a Slowpoke, I'll tell you what. Just there's no model. There's no
but
model.
I don't understand that because like I just want to just touch base on that little phrase you use, the pinkest Slowpoke on a Slowpoke, because that implies that there's multiple tails on a Slowpoke.
No, but that implies that there's multiple tails on multiple different Slowpokes. It's just you can compare.
No, because you're saying the pinkest tail on Slowpokes, but you said on a Slowpoke.
I'm dying on this fucking grave. There's multiple different Slowpokes. Each might have their own shade of pink because they're all genetically different in some kind of way. He's not the pinkest tail on a Slowpoke. I'll tell you that much. I'm dying on that.
I feel like maybe the phrase would be better if it's not the pinkest Slowpoke tail, because that implies other Slowpokes.
Like, I want it.
But the moment you say on a Slowpoke means one Slowpoke.
I just want it.
When you say not the sharpest tool in a shed, you're not like, well, there's other sheds out there. No, it implies one shed. We're not talking about 700,000 sheds with tools in each shed. We're talking about one shed with a whole bunch of tools. Pinkest tail on a Slowpoke, it sounds like it's one Slowpoke with a bunch of tails, which is worrying, and maybe we should be cutting those tails off.
So you
moving on.
You think it's good that we're doing it? Anyway, I see what you're doing. No one. When I got to Alzea Town, though, no one. Oh, everyone was acknowledging how there were no Slowpokes.
Yeah, people were really concerned.
They were concerned, but no one was really doing much about it until I met Kurt. Now, can I tell you about Kurt?
You can tell me all about Kurt after this ad break. Just kidding.
Oh.
Go on. We don't have ads.
I was about to burst. This stream is sponsored by the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button on the YouTube channel and follow and rate our podcasts 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, whatever they rate them. That's our ad break. You happy? There you go.
That's a good ad break, yeah. And now back to your content.
My tangent about Kurt. Now, Kurt is, oh man, when you meet Kurt, why does his sprite look like he's got his hands on his hips? Do you remember that? He's got his hands on his hips.
Yeah, because he's upset about everything. People have taken his... Yeah, he's got his hands on his hips and he's showing it.
But like...
It's called body language,
why is he
Stacey?
putting his hands on his hips? I mean, I would too if all the Slowpoke tails were gone, right? And I mean, but like, I just think it just warrants a bigger reaction than just putting your hands on your hips. Something
what would
like
you do?
This. I would be like, fuck, what can I do about it? I'm going to run
physically, what would you do? Because he did say, what are we going to do about it? And he
we
did
do something about it inevitably until he broke his fucking back. I've got a bone.
I don't think he did.
I've got a bone to pick with him about this, and I actually can't stand him. He kind of hit hard a bit. As you know, and as some of you gym rats know, I have had a history of testicular cancer. And so when he told me that he couldn't make any balls for me, I kind of hit hard a bit. I was thinking, oh my God, I'm just kind of looking for a solution, to the problem that I have, I'm still looking for answers if you catch my drift. And, I thought Kurt would be the saving grace for this situation. But anyway, I just thought it was a great little oxymoron. He goes, he's like, I can't make you any balls. I just thought, wow, story of my life. Anyway, he's like, I'm going to give these guys a lesson in pain regarding the Team Rocket grunts. He's like, I'm going to give these guys a lesson in pain. And I'm thinking that's also an oxymoron because what follows is kind of justified considering what he told me. We get there. And I climb down the ladder and I see this gentleman lying on the ground. Oh, my back. Oh, my back. Air quotes.
Yeah. Yet again, I don't believe he did do anything.
Yeah, I just think you're just full of shit, quite frankly. And so like I go and I defeat Team Rocket, in the Slowpoke well. A couple of Slowpokes. One of them, by the way, was holding mail.
Oh, I didn't talk to any of the Slowpokes.
I talked to.
Did you get any of their numbers? Did you have enough Riz to get a Slowpoke's number?
No. Unfortunately, I don't have contactable information.
Oh, they do have mail, so I guess you got the Slowpoke's mail.
Yes. So I didn't read the mail, but it was. I just know the mail was from Dad. It was about a little girl who was trying to get in contact with Dad, and this Slowpoke was carrying the mail. So I'm thinking, wow, this girl, like in all seriousness, this girl hadn't heard back from her dad because this Slowpoke must have been in possession of this mail. Maybe this Slowpoke was on a journey to deliver this mail to the father, very slowly, but Team Rocket has swooped up this Slowpoke and cut off its tail and done the underground hoo-ha, and now the Slowpoke is being held hostage. Poor Slowpoke. Poor dad, poor daughter. Anyway, I defeat Team Rocket, as you probably defeated Team Rocket, and can you imagine...
Yeah?
Can you imagine our reactions, or my reaction, when Kurt came running over to me?
Oh, he's so quick. He's like, yeah, my back's fine. Let's get out of here. I'm like, oh, yeah, sure, mate.
Well done. Yeah, you did. Yeah, lesson in pain. Wow, lesson in back pain, mate.
These rockets, I found it very curious that they don't have names. Everybody else has names.
I do.
You got bloody Hiker Anthony. You've got
Ralph the Fisherman, Liz the
the Fisherman, Liz the Rizzer. But they're all Rocket Grunt. I find that odd. I find that a bit disheartening. Maybe that's why they've gone to a life of crime, because no one really sees them for who they are.
Yeah. I think it's a bit sad, if I'm honest.
Before Kurt did run off, though, I just did want to touch on something that happened that I found really fucking funny. I did actually cackle. It tickled me quite a lot. So Kurt runs off to go stop Team Rocket, and there's a little girl in that house. And verbatim, it's like the timing of it was just so fucking funny. He runs off, I turn to my right, I click A next to this girl, and she goes, "Grandpa is gone."
Yeah,
I'm so lonely. I'm like,
thinking,
oh no!
Chill out. Like, he's gone for 1 second and you're already lonely. Like,
I mean, that kid looked like 2 years old. Like, I get it.
Maybe attachment.
And maybe it was her that wrote the mail to the Slowpoke to find her dad.
Maybe Kurt's the grandfather. Oh, he is.
Yeah,
Wait,
he's the grandfather, yeah.
He's the grandfather. Maybe the dad. Oh, my God. Connecting the dots.
Yeah.
Do you know what else is? I cackled a little bit myself. It's funny because, like, I read the Slowpoke well causes... there's Slowpoke in there. When they yawn, it causes rain. Cool.
Yeah.
When the Slowpoke came back, I spoke to one of them in Azalea
and
town.
it yawned?
It yawned. Where's the rain? It yawned.
Cool.
Is it
maybe it's a myth. Maybe they have to yawn inside the well.
Or maybe either in the L, or maybe they need to yawn in packs.
It's a pack of Slowpoke. It's a group of Slowpoke called a pack.
Ooh. A poke.
I feel like a
poke of Slowpoke.
Yeah, but you don't really call a group of sheep a heap of sheep.
Yeah, but
an og of dogs.
Like a murder of crows. Just
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It probably has its own unique word. Like a dawdle of Slowpoke. I feel like it'd be something to do with the way that they the slowness.
Actually,
yeah.
Do you want to make that official right now? Do you?
Well, let's have a. Do you have any other better ideas? I like a dawdle
of Slowpoke. Actually, that's why I want to make it official.
A dawdle of Slowpoke. Maybe there's a better one.
Asher, I know we're mid podcast recording, but I've thought of a content idea we could potentially do for the off season.
Sure.
We come up with a plural name for every Pokemon in Johto. It has to make sense. Otherwise,
it does.
Like a dawdle of Slow. That's our first one, and then we'll make one for Chikorita, and then we'll make one for Bayleaf, so on and so forth.
Oh no, I feel like it'd be for the evolution line.
Oh yeah, actually,
because 100 different words. It's also gonna take a fucking long time.
It'll fuck with you. But anyway, look forward to the off.
A rainbow of Ho-Ohs, obviously.
No, don't start now. Come on, save it.
Okay, sorry.
Off season.
Yeah. That's a little sneak peek of what we'll probably not ever do, because we're very bad at saying we'll do things and then doing them.
Not doing them, yeah.
Oh yeah, Dawdle Slowpoke sounds good.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, it didn't yawn, and I found that really weird. And
I mean, it did yawn, but it didn't rain.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
That's right.
That's the one.
I thought we were going to get a double battle in the gym this run. I was nearly convinced that we were going to get a double battle because we had Amy and May, the twins. And I was like, oh my God, double battles were introduced this early. I legitimately thought that they may have been, because this game has like based on like the visuals, the music, just the mechanics of it as well, like how smoothly everything runs, the zero glitches so far. They really fucking glowed up. Like this game is such a massive improvement over Red and Blue.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And it's on the same bloody hardware. Yeah, like you can use it on Game Boy Color and get color, but you can still use this on like the regular Game Boy. It's incredible what they were able to fit into this game.
Oh yeah. The sound font too. I love it all. I love the music.
So good.
So nice.
That's why I was like, oh, maybe they bloody put double battles in this as well. Like, I wasn't shocked until after, obviously, they sent out one Pokemon. They would think it was a Spinarak. I was like, oh, damn. Okay, maybe that's next gen. I can't remember when double battles were introduced.
When were they introduced? Oh, I'm trying to remember myself.
I don't know. We'll find out when we eventually get to that game.
But yeah, I'm the same. I battled the twins. Well, I battled one. I'm thinking I'm going to battle the other. And, turns out they were both a little bit of a pack or a combo or like, buy one, get one free or, one of those. But easy gym. Like, can I just put it out there? Easy gym.
Yeah, well, like you had a fire type and you were also at the correct level.
Yes.
So my experience was very different. I didn't have Ember.
I'd love to know how you dealt with Scyther because let's face it, you had Kakuna and Metapod, which are a bit like they were just there, like as a little decoy, you know what I mean? So, how'd you deal with Scyther?
So Rattata actually learns a really cool move at level 13 called Hyperfang.
Hyperfang. Oh.
Which does like 80 base damage. Really fucking powerful. So I was able to take down Scyther with no issues. Bugsy was not an issue for me.
Yeah.
Even though I was underleveled, it still was pretty easy. The one fucking trainer I had an issue with was, and you've mentioned this person before, was Bloody Tony. Anthony the Hiker. Rock-type Pokemon, I'm going to have some serious trouble moving on into this game. Things are going to be very tough. Things are going to be very tough moving forward.
But just think if the off chance where you do come out successful, I mean,
I'll feel great. I felt so good about bloody Kakuna taking out Charizard with Poison Sting last time with Red and Blue. That felt fucking amazing. Yeah. So me taking out Red with a team of Rattatas, that's going to be amazing.
100%.
But I did not end up beating Anthony. I will be having to beat Anthony next episode.
Yes.
I whited out 3 times and it was just like, I can't do anything. Like Mud Slap was doing hardly any damage. And then after I bloody got through that Geodude, which was resisting all my moves, and even though a Mud Slap seems pretty broken, by the way, because it's accuracy down 100% all the time. It's essentially sand attack with damage. It's not like it's not like, 50% of the time accuracy goes down. Accuracy goes down all the time. Doesn't matter for Anthony because apparently his bloody Pokemon are Eagles and they just hit you regardless. And then the Machop comes out, low kick. It's just that's game over for the Rattatas. They couldn't do bloody anything. So I'll have to take on Anthony next episode before we move on to the next gym. Did you come across any? I came across 2 interesting individuals, and I want to know if you came across them or other people, depending on when you played, because I just want to know if I'm really lucky or if the game puts these people in front of you. So I came across a guy called Arthur and a lady called Frida. Did you come across them?
No, where? During 30?
So
33?
on the left of Violet City, just next to the Sudowoodo, there's this guy called Arthur. And he's like, hey, I'm Arthur from Thursday.
Oh.
Here's a Hardstone. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Thank you. That was yesterday. And then this morning I was finishing off the run on Friday. Today's Friday. And I came across Frida just outside Union Cave. And she's like, hey, I'm Frida. What did she give me? She gave me... They're giving you like some pretty cool hold items.
How good is that?
Frida gave me Poison Barb. Yeah.
Oh. No, I didn't. I mean, I did admittedly explore the ruins of Elf, I think.
Ruins of Elf. Man, we didn't even talk about that.
We didn't even talk about it, but let's touch on it now.
Yeah.
What do you think? The ruins of Elf. Interesting how it's a very touristy it's a touristy. That's how they've marketed it. It's a tourist destination.
They mentioned that it is a tourist destination, but they're just not getting that many people in. And like, admittedly, I went there and there wasn't much foot traffic. But apparently, they're blaming it on the Sudowoodo because it was.
But like you can enter from all angles, can't you? Like you can.
Yeah, but like Goldenrod City seems to be like a massive. I think like a proper CBD location. So a lot of people will be coming through there. So a big convenience of going to the ruins of Alph is gone. Did you run into any unknown? Did you do the little puzzle that they had?
No. I'm thinking, I feel like I should come across this a bit later on. So I didn't actually do anything. I just explored a bit. I wanted to see who was there. I wanted to come across the folk that were interested, gauge the audience, do a bit of, I guess, surveying the area a little bit for next time. I want to see like who else is there next time.
Right. Well, I went into one of the buildings and there was like a little slidey puzzle, and pretty simple stuff. Like I think anyone could do it, which is disturbing because when you do complete the puzzle, which turns into a picture of a Pokemon. I won't spoil it for you if you plan on doing this later.
Yes, please.
But for people that actually know, because if I explain it to the gym rats, then you'll know. Doesn't matter. Either way, you complete it, and then the floor opens up below, and you fall into the ruins.
Oh.
Which seems really dangerous. I'm not sure if they put the floor back up again, if this is just part of like the attraction, like it's just a bit of an adrenaline rush. Like, oh, complete the slide puzzle, and then fall down a hole and maybe break your legs. Kurt's there, and he's like, oh, my back, and then runs off because he never really did hurt his back. But I came across an unknown, and I lost my shit because I didn't have any Pokeballs on me. Because I'm only catching Rattatas, and there was something very, very interesting about this unknown. Had a special color, and it was a shade of green.
It was a shiny.
It was a green unknown, and I was like, oh my god,
shiny.
I've come across a shiny unknown because the unknowns are black, they're not green. And I was like, oh my god, I don't have any Pokeballs on me. I'm playing Gold and Silver on my 3DS, which means I could transfer it up. I could get unknowns. I was so upset. But I didn't have anything to catch it with. I took a picture of it just to like, oh, I've got proof that I actually did run into a shiny. And then the next Pokemon I ran into was another unknown. It was green too. And then I came across another unknown. It was green. I was like, I don't think I'm this lucky. What's going on?
Did it play a little animation?
No, there wasn't an animation. It turns out that unknowns in this game are green. They're not black. The shiny unknowns are blue.
So you thought.
I thought I was having a very special time.
You thought. Asher, unfortunately, we can't all be lucky like you. I didn't explore that much. I'm gonna save it for later.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
But I like the concept of having like held items and whatnot, and even time events. I don't know. Are you okay right now? Or are you okay? Yep.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Shaking them out like that over there.
I'll explain after the cast.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, no, and that there was also that house with the charcoal guys. Oh, that one guy goes into Ilex Forest. I spoke to them beforehand. Hang on. I spoke to them beforehand, and there was two guys. This is the building next to the gym with that little path that separates the buildings, and there were two guys, and one of them was berating his little worker, his employee, and whatnot, basically, and the worker was just like, I'm just trying to do my job. And then I come back after I beat the Slowpoke. I beat Team Rocket, and basically this other guy's gone. And this guy, instead of being like, oh my god, my workmate, my subordinate's gone, he's like, that fucking dickhead. What? He's gone off to Ilex Forest. He's wasting time. I'm thinking, what kind of boss?
He's running a business. He's running a business, Stacey.
I know he's running a business, but what about the welfare of his employees?
They're expendable. Expendable. It's just labor. Whatever.
Oh man.
I didn't run into that issue.
Oh, it was one of the
Yeah, well, I ran into I went into the kiln because they didn't call it a house. They called it was like the charcoal person's kiln, which was a bit confusing because they were spending a lot of time in the kiln, and you shouldn't spend too much time in the kiln because did it fucking do it again?
Did it again.
This for people that are listening and not watching. Oh, it keeps doing it. My webcam, for some weird reason, every time I like make a hand motion, it just does like a little thumb up. It's very annoying.
Bonus thumb.
Yeah. I think it's just my webcam saying like, "Oh, that's cool. I approve."
Yeah.
Because I'm doing thumbs up right now and it's not picking up on them, which so I don't know what actually causes it. Anyway, I've lost my train of thought. It wasn't important. I just wanted to say, get out of the kiln.
Get out of the kiln.
Yeah. Get out of the kiln.
I think is that it? What's next for us? What's next for us?
We have Goldenrod.
Ilex Forest.
We have Goldenrod.
The daycare.
Ilex Forest. Sure. I don't know what else. I haven't really looked further into that.
No, that's it from memory.
A level cap is, let's do a quick look.
Have a quick
just
look.
So our gym rats know what we're stepping into. So that's Whitney. Not Whitney Houston. Whitney Pokemon. And come on. Pokemon. Bulbapedia. Oh my god. Gold, silver. We are looking at. Oh my god.
Why do I think? Don't quote me on it. But why do I think it's level 19?
It's not.
What is it?
It's close though. So the level cap is 20, and the Pokemon limit that we're allowed to play with for next episode is 2. Yeah.
2. Okay.
2 and level 20. So that's what we're up to next week. We'll catch you then, Gym Rats. Is there anything that you want to drop before we goodbye ourselves into oblivion? Or?
Subscribe to the YouTube channel and obviously follow and rate our podcast. Rate it high. Leave a grand review so maybe your review could be read out by us. Eventually, maybe. Who knows?
Oh yeah, I forgot we were going to do that, but we never got around to doing that. We'll do that next episode. That's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say goodbye, Gym Rats, and that's me gone. Stacey, you can close out the rest of the episode. I'm pissing off.
He's actually walking away. Oh no, it's just me. Oh, he's taking his headset off. It's gone. It's off. Oh my goodness, he's laying down. He is relaxing. Wow. Considering he has a very busy April ahead of him, he cannot afford to be lying like that. Anyway, take care, everyone, and bye.